Low.
He hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here and there.
And the pregame routine's coming to an end. We're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, small ball has become the trend in the
Hello,
NBA,
hello.
but it might be more accurate to call it average ball. With defensive switching twice as common as it was 5 years ago, the demand is rising for players of average NBA height, and that's around 6'7". Kevin, that's affected not just the big men, but the vertically challenged guys.
Point forwards and big guards in demand. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. They got Porzingis, Luka Doncic out there with Seth Curry. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Finney Smith in a power forward. And for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Beverly in at the point guard position. Morris dishes to Beverly. George hacks a two-pointer. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. And here are the Mavericks now.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame.
Oh. How about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult.
Beverly looking around. Leonard on the wing. Outside, George. Back to Leonard. Outside, George. Launches it. And Leonard gets it to go on the
Android.
Leonard's got 5 points so far. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
And here's George. Following Porzingis' three, fires the three. It's hauled in by Porzingis. Last game for the Mavericks, it was a loss to the Nuggets. Stolen by George. Leonard with the ball. Hardaway picks him up, and that one's good.
Yeah.
Kawhi is carving up this defense. Love his awareness. He is finding the open man.
To the middle, here's Finney Smith. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Connects from three-point range. That's now 8
The Android.
Here's Doncic. 38 points for him last game against Denver.
And it wasn't just the scoring. He also impacted the game on the glass. Terrific all-around effort.
Now here's Hardaway. A floater. And Doncic lays it in.
A lot of enthusiasm to the start of this game. So far, a perfect 4 for 4.
Beverly the pass to George. Leonard, that's for 2. And he overshot that one, missing.
Missing that one helps out all the analytical guys from the mid-range.
A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have 2 elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny. Many thought the Raptors or Lakers wouldn't land Kawhi, but in the end he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
And here's Beverly. He brings up with the Los Angeles Clippers. They trail by 1. And it's Green missing. The Mavericks have got a perfect 6 for 6 in the game up to this point. Doncic, no good. first quarter. We're about 3.5 minutes in. Unloads. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the
Supalpal
backboard.
lang. Supalpal ka rin. Supalpal.
Everyone hit the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Leonard against Hardaway. Outside Curry. To the inside. And down it goes. Jamming that one home.
Beautiful location on the pass, as usual. Led his man perfectly.
And Green gets it to go.
And that's what every team wants from their big man nowadays. Jermichael Green able to knock down the triple.
Inside, here's Porzingis. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got his 4th assist in this one. Clippers have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. A 3 from Leonard. Porzingis with the rebound. For Dallas, they've gone 8 of 10 shooting, coming out very strong. Gonna go that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
It was really that second wave in the rotation that took the offense to another level.
Los Angeles has gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. A 3 from Leonard. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way. He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Here's Leonard. Following the score by Dallas. Hits the three-point line. Leonard's got 13 points.
You'll have to give it up for Kawhi right now.
DeAndre.
The defense.
Kawhi Leonard.
Doncic passes to Cleveland. Hardaway with it. Leonard picks him up. Hardaway, no good.
Great defensive effort. Just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to
Android. Kawhi Leonard.
They just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Here's Doncic. From deep. And no work with that time on the buzzer beater. Kawhi Leonard has been on display for Los Angeles. What an
The Android.
There was absolutely no stopping him. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
Older brother, he was a big fan of the NBA.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Clippers, guys. What are your thoughts?
Just stretching out the floor at first.
Android,
The
ne?
defense scrambling.
Kawhi
reason
Leonard.
why excellent spacing. They may not stay this hot all game, but hard to bet against it.
On the floor for Dallas, we got the one right. J.J. Barea is out there with Trey Burke. Then there's Marjanovic, and it's Cleveland in at the 4. Now here's Wright, and looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. We see it all the time, Smitty, the league doing more to protect the landing zone of shooters, but for some guys, we're using that forward momentum to change that landing spot. Look at that.
Kevin, this is a great debate because as an offensive guy, I know you see a guy launching, I might change my shot and start to go forward just in case I can get a foul if it doesn't make the shot. This is a tough call to call. It's going to be like the charge block, I think, in some years to come.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He is always deadly. Thank you. Now, here's Marjanovic. Banked in off the glass. Marjanovic has got his first basket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Now here's Jackson. Burke covering.
Yeah, same board.
To the paint. Here's Barea. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Barea's got 5 points so far. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. Last time they met was in Dallas where they beat the Mavericks.
And that last one came right down to the wire. The difference for me being the impact they got from the bench.
Having that spark off the bench really helped them the last time these two teams battled. We'll see if it'll be there for them again.
Zubac is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And Dallas with a change here too. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for J.J. Barea. Here's Shamet. And again, no good by the Clippers.
Defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
Burke can't get it to go. The Clippers trail. And we're going to have a jump ball.
Sige, magagawan kayo.
And here is Los Angeles now. Zubac finds Shamet. Back to Zubac. The rebound by Marjanovic.
That was excellent contest, preventing him from making something that's usually automatic.
No good from Finney-Smith. For Los Angeles, they've gone 2 of 6 in the field in the second quarter so far. Here's Jackson. Score of the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
That is a powerful point guard right there. Reggie converting against very tight defense.
And for a long time, Jermichael Green was mostly an energy player. But he's expanded his game lately.
Worked on developing an
Maganda
outside
laban.
shot. He can drop a few threes from the power forward spot now, Kevin. He still has a high motor. You love the activity.
Sige, buhayain mo.
Jackson, that's good.
Buhaya.
I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a mood.
But kicks to Kleba. Burke with it. Jackson on him. That one goes. It's counted.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They trail by 1. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. And that's game 2 of this string of 4 games played at home. The pass to Finney-Smith. It's good. The assist that time from Burke. Finney-Smith's got 7.
Defensively, you have to tighten up on him or suffer the consequences.
Pass to Shamet. There's Green with the 3. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
Aga nyo, ah.
Running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
How often do we see this these days? Clubs answering each other from range.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets. For the Clippers, Marcus Morris is checked in for Jermichael Green. Paul George comes in for Landry Shamet. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Williams. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Zingas is checked in for Marjanovic. Hardaway comes in for Maxi Kleba. Curry's checked in for Wright. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Trey Burke. Now here's Jackson following the miss by Porzingis. Beverly the pass to Morris. And again, Los Angeles with a triple.
Boom!
They can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Both teams putting forth their best efforts right now. This is the kind of game fans pay to see.
Now Curry. After Luka Doncic's three-pointer that didn't go. He talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
Morris, no good. The Mavericks have gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. From 11 feet away, it's in. He's a very efficient 5 for 6 in the game.
Playing at his tempo, his pace, he's been dialed in all night.
Here's Jackson. Lays it up off the glass. Jackson's got 8 here in the quarter.
In case anyone was wondering, this is what it looks like when you're in the zone. He hasn't missed one all quarter.
On the way with a wide open look. Misses for 3. LA's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Here's Jackson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
The burst of Jackson makes him a hard guy to stick with and difficult not to foul.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And high-quality numbers for him all season long. How about 81 from the line?
So 1 for 2 that time at the strike.
He wanted to get his team the lead, and even though he didn't, he should feel good. At least he tied it up.
Hardaway, good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Hardaway's got his first 2 points of the night.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
You know what it is? It's his creativity. That's making this engine run.
And some good action to the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 2. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that?
Kawhi, Leonard, Android.
Just knocking out open shots, my ball handling and making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just trying to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Some big-time action already in this one. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Well, they've been rewarded for dumping the ball inside, keeping the defense honest. You have to mix it up. A little bit outside, a little bit inside. Now that separates teams.
And over to Shaq. Now your take on the Clippers.
Well, they had a strong perimeter game. See, Ernie, when this team executes from long range, those weapons spread out the defense. Coming out of the second half, if those shoes are hot, they got a great chance to take control.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back. Kevin Harlan. Go.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him. Really staying focused on quality shots.
And many of those quality shots have been jumpers. A very high percentage of those in the first half.
Dallas has gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the free ball here. Patrick Beverly out there with Paul George. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Zubac in at the center position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
His rhythm has been
so
way off. The goal now might be to get him something easy at the rim so he can just see the ball go in through the net, and that helps.
And his competitiveness showing through, that's an aggressive team.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step-back threes. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game, and Don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
They come out ice cold to start this half. 3 misses and as many attempts.
Back to Hardaway. 4 on the clock. Chalk up 2 there. And it's an 8-point Maverick lead.
Just
Ball.
no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate. That one jump score. Morris has got his second basket of the night.
And they get one now. 1 of 5 here. They do it.
Curry passes to Finney Smith. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 3 assists tonight. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now, you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Beverly finds Leonard. Pulls up on the wing. No good that time. And it's Dallas the other way. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game is the first and last of their homestand. That's to Finney Smith. Takes the 3. It's very efficient. 5 for 6 on the game.
And getting out in transition has been a big part of this run that they're on.
But they'll get another chance. Porzingis with the steal. Here's Doncic, and the dunk by Doncic.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
What it was, they are getting better shots, which has gotten them into a rhythm, and they're knocking down everything. You can tell they want to work the ball inside as much as possible. Seems like a great strategy given the weapons they have.
Curry with a wide open look. A 3-pointer, no good.
I'm shocked that he didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Beverly for 3. It's rebounded by Doncic.
Nakakatiwala sa iyo Beverly.
And Curry has it in the corner. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. George has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Zubac gets to George. Outside Leonard for the 3. And it's Finney Smith with the rebound. Finney Smith's got his 4th rebound in this one. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
Well, they've won the battle of transition buckets, and those easy points have helped them build this lead.
It's such an advantage when you can get out and run and get a good look before the defense can set up.
For the Clippers, Green's checked in for Zubac. Andrew Shamet comes in for Leonard. It's Williams in for Patrick Beverly. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Marjanovic checked in for Porzingis. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. DeLon Wright, he's checked in for Seth Curry. And Berea subbed in for Tim Hardaway Jr. George passes to Williams. Shot clock at 5. Shamet. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Marjanovic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Wright. Good, and it's Berea who picks up the assist. Defensively, Smitty, why do we see more full-court press in college than we do in the NBA?
You know, the guards are better at the NBA level, and I think also your 5-man, usually a guy who can't bring it up, they're pretty good at the NBA level. Just overall, Kevin, the skill level at the NBA level is better at college, so you can't really trap guys and pick on one guy who's not equipped.
The kick out to Wright. Tries to save it. Off target with his 3.
Thank you.
Trail by 15. Passes it to Shamet. Lays it up and in on a nice reverse.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
Berea, no good. And it's Williams with the ball for Los Angeles. Here's Morris. It's rebounded by Doncic. Doncic has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
The will is there, but the execution is lacking. He can't seem to finish plays this quarter. Some coaches might not like taking the 3 on the fast break, but he had the open look and buried it.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistleblower. And there's the foul against Dallas. The Clippers have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. He's off on the first. And the second free throw, good. Now Berea, 8 points for him. There's the pass to Kleba. Dallas moving the ball around. Doncic, no good.
And the truth is, this league would have been much bigger had he shot better.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside for George. A three. Mavericks with the rebound. Pass to Berea. Back to Doncic. Good on the triple. Doncic has got 5 points now this quarter.
And love how much Doncic believes in himself. It shows when he shoots off the pass like that.
And so it's down with an 18-point
Bawi.
lead as the quarter comes to a close. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed. And you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Very unselfish. If you appreciate teamwork, this is the kind of play that will get you up out of your seat.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. On the court for the Mavericks. Wright is out there with Burke. Then there's Marjanovic. Then there's Doncic. And it's Kleba in at the 4 spot.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated. They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's Wright missing.
So frustrating when you can't get anything to go down as you're trying to help your team finish the job.
The shot by Williams, no good.
I'm not sure what happened on that play. May have relaxed a little bit once he got to the rim.
Here's Doncic. It's hauled in by the Clippers. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Here's Shamet. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. To the left side wing. Here's Burke. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got assist number 11 for him here tonight.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
And the Clippers call time here. We were just talking about this, Steve, as the game of basketball always evolves. You look at the WNBA now. The quality of play there is terrific.
The talent level in the WNBA is at an all-time high. I love watching and gaining some tricks. Athletically, there's a lot of young ladies being able to dunk the basketball now.
Absolutely amazing. You're right, Steve. Morris finds Leonard over to the wing. Jackson against Hardaway. Out of bounds, it'll be Mavericks ball.
Sinulak ni
And this is
Gago
what the
eh.
schedule looks like for the Los Angeles Clippers. On Friday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Saturday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for that game against the Nuggets, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
The Clippers have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. And Beverly kicks to
Ano
Leonard.
yan?
Offensive struggles continue.
One more reason why they're in control.
Burke dishes to Curry. That one falls coming off Burke's feet. Burke's got 3 assists in the game.
The love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
I'm impressed with their intensity tonight. They came in focused and they executed.
He kicks it to Hardaway. Back to Burke. Steve, for player success brings so many opportunities, but sometimes Glitz and the glamour and the lifestyle get in the way of success on the basketball court.
You know it does, Kevin. A lot of these guys have a lot of things going off the court, and you want to encourage that. It's just when anything off the court starts to affect on the court, then it becomes a problem. Some guys can handle it from the beginning. Others need to mature before they can find that balance.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
A little bit late there, but you tried to get into your opponent's head and force them to go somewhere else with the ball, and he did that.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Justin Jackson comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Lee subbed in for Seth Curry.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Pass to Leonard. Fires from 14. Rebounded by Jackson. Here's Dallas. They're on a 12-4 run. Noah against Porzingis. Down low, Jackson. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
Los Angeles has gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Lee outside. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. That is his first foul of the game. Especially with players like Curry and Lillard taking such high difficulty shots from deep, deep range. I mean, these are just amazing. Some have said that it's hurting the game and that kids will try to emulate. What do you think about that?
You know, Kevin, I think it is to some point, and to this point where so many kids now at a younger age are shooting a three ball from so deep. I would love for a lot of these guys to be able to show the work they put in, and then those kids try to emulate that.
To the left wing, here's Mann. That one rolling around and rings out. And it's Barea with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. You can safely say mission accomplished now for Dallas.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And for the year now, they'll ramp up their win total to an even 40. And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for Luka Doncic.
You have to appreciate the unselfishness. He kept the ball moving, kept everyone involved, really enjoyable to watch.
And so it's Dallas with stolen by Noah. Outside Williams. And they pick up 2.
You see the toughness of Williams. Won't shy away from contact.
And so it's Dallas with Lee outside. Outside, Kidd-Gilchrist. Passes it to Jackson. Kicks it to Barea. 6 on the shot clock. That one good for 2.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
It's called killer instinct. It's one thing to be close at the end. It's another to finish.
And he makes the first. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. There's 10 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Burke with it. So no plus they get the win. A resounding victory for them.
They controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it. That's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the...